everybody. AwayCast 004. I'm here with my buddy, Gregg Andrew Delarocca.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today?
And also joined by Joshua Hingy from Chicago.
What up, yo?
He's here, and Johnny A on the mic, hosting again for our fourth time. No video this time this week, guys, because we're working on some technical stuff, but I'm sure you're going to miss our faces, but we'll be back once the quality's picked up. We're going to host it on YouTube. This way everyone could to give it a listen if you guys don't want to check it out on the site. So, what's up, guys? Greg, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Just, we had that week off. Been busy. I just moved out to Queens.
Woo! Big move.
A couple blocks from you, actually. Just working a lot. I haven't been able to play too many games. Played a little bit at Defiance. I played, I really haven't played. I've just been doing work, and I'm broke right now because it cost me so much fucking money to move in.
Josh, did you shoot up another Starbucks? Maybe you could redeem Greg's boringness.
I will send you a check from my most recent Starbucks heist.
So what about you, Josh? What have you been up to?
Well, I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't record last Sunday because I was hungover like crazy. It was awful.
Every time we record, you're hungover.
Yeah, you always say that you're hungover. You have a drinking problem?
No, I don't think so.
Let's address this right now.
Obviously, you would say that if you.
Yeah, I know, and I wouldn't know if I had a drinking problem. I'm probably not qualified to answer. But no, it was my friend's birthday, so there was a reason I was drinking, and we went to a pretty awesome club, and he got us in for free because he works there. Ooh. So like we were able to just like run around and be morons and stuff like that. You know, it was a typical Saturday night.
Get the VIP treatment.
Did you guys play laser tag?
Actually, like there's a dress code at this club, and like as we were going there, I was like, should I be wearing my portal hat? Does it have a hat with like aperture on it? And he's like, no, you probably shouldn't be wearing that. And then like we just walked in, I was like, fuck it, I'm not taking this off. And so just walked in.
Just tell them that it's like an electronic musician. It's like a house DJ.
It's a house DJ.
DJ Aperture.
So they let you in a club with a hat on?
Yeah, because I knew him. No one was like, hey, take that off.
Who's your friend? Do we know him?
His name's Noah Kraft, but you don't know him.
That sounds like a celebrity.
Noah Kraft.
I will give a shout out right now to Noah Kraft.
Noah Kraft, what's up, bro?
What's up, Noah?
How you doing, dude? Get me into the club.
Yeah, we want to get in that club.
I'm going to wear my Halo hat. We'll go to the club together.
Just nothing but gamer attire.
I'm going to wear my legendary helmet, and we'll all go out together. So what else is up, Josh?
My family came to visit this weekend, and so to cook for them, I stumbled upon this website called gourmetgaming.co.uk.
Sounds delicious.
It is awesome. It is basically all of these recipes from video games, and like shows you how to make
recipes that were used in the game.
Well, so for instance, for breakfast, I made the Skyrim sweet roll. Yeah, and like literally made it from scratch, and it was. I don't want to brag too much, but it was pretty damn awesome. Did a little tiki masala from Nino Kuni, and then we did some drinking. We did Lon Lon Milk and Adam and Eve's from BioShock and Nuka-Cola.
How do you make Lon Lon Milk?
Is it just
was
milk?
Basically a White Russian.
So there's alcohol in it?
For the drinks, yeah.
Okay. That's a little strange because I don't think Link was drinking that Lon Lon Milk with vodka.
Well, you gotta make it exciting. Otherwise, it would just be like, take milk, pour in cup, Lon Lon Milk.
Guys, check out this milk I made
from a video game.
Just like drunk mowing down enemies.
So what was the other thing? Nino Kuni, and what was the other one? Not Lon Lon Milk, something else.
There was Adam and Eve's from BioShock and Nuka-Cola from Fallout.
What did Nuka-Cola? Like, I can imagine that Adam and Eve was
like a rum and coke.
Nuka-Cola was amaretto, vodka infused cola, and then like a bunch of other sweet stuff. It was very, very sweet.
And Adam and Eve was probably just red and blue.
Yeah, exactly. And we did them as shots. I don't know if that's how you're supposed. I really do sound like I have an alcohol problem. I don't drink that much, but we basically did them like shots. They're awesome.
That sounds cool, though.
Yeah, check it out. Gourmetgaming.
Bro, take it easy. They're not paying us. Gourmet Gaming is not paying us.
It's secretly his website. This is his little side company. He's a cook.
He wears a little chef's hat. You go on there.
Hat, and it's
I am
him.
adorable in a chef's hat.
We're gonna put a picture on the site. I did a little drinking this weekend too. Actually, Greg, you came with me.
I got a
night.
little drunk last night.
We went to a friend's birthday party.
We crashed someone's like fucking family birthday party.
Yeah, but we paid. It was $30, $35, open bar, all you can drink plus food, and the food was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
But before we went out, Gregg came a little bit later, but we got there at 9, Kate and I, and it didn't start till 9:30, which we're the old people who come early to stuff. So we came back to my apartment because the place was right across the street from where we are, and Kate and I broke out a deck of cards. I'm like, we're gonna get drunk before we go to an open bar. So we played War. We played War. Yeah.
Exclusive on the AwayCast.
Guys, listen.
War.
We talk all gaming here. We're talking War.
So I got this new 52 card deck, and the cards are beautiful.
No way.
Yeah, dude, this is one of the best card decks I've ever seen.
But honestly, when was the last time you played War?
I don't know.
Can Josh hear us right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I'm just taking this in. I'm just internalizing.
You never played War as a kid?
Oh, of course.
I played a lot of War. Actually, I played War as a drinking game as a freshman and got super, super hammered to that.
Oh, really?
So.
I don't believe that.
God, damn it. It's
really,
happening
Josh?
again.
You got drunk?
I have other stories.
But we played it as a drinking game too, and we went through 2 16s in like 15 minutes. But I've never had so much fun playing War. I forgot how even though it's a game of chance, I was thinking strategy somehow. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing.
In my drunk head, I was like,
no strategy to War. That's not possible.
But I threw out, say, a queen, and then I took a jack from her, and it's that's a good win because it's right next. I don't know. I'm trying to work out a strategy.
Man.
That's not thinking strategy. That's just you understanding the game of War.
All right, guys. Anyway, so video games. Let's break away from the card side of things. Actually, speaking of card games, did anybody see that that Xbox game they're coming out with that has Brock from the Venture Brothers and Claptrap?
Poker Night.
Oh, the Poker Night. Yeah, I saw that. That's actually, I have that up here. Actually, I think it's coming out next week.
What's the deal? It's just poker with characters that are going to sell it.
Yeah, they've done that before. I think this is a second round of this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the sequel.
Here it is.
Poker Night 2.
Is that Brock? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's GLaDOS.
Yeah.
And Claptrap is in it.
Yeah, Claptrap.
Yeah, the 23rd. So 2 days, right?
So what do you say we have a poker night? Nah.
Yeah, it's probably a game
That
I'm
would
gonna
be
skip.
badass. That's cool. I don't know how much does that game cost. Does it cost enough for a poker night?
Probably
is it too expensive to throw down?
I mean, it's probably worth at least
Poker
$90, but I don't know how much they're going to sell it for.
Well, what Greg's talking about right now is Phil. I don't know if anybody saw on Twitter or Reddit, but Phil Fish is not adhering or paying attention to what can get people into trouble on Twitter.
He does this. There's a little tantrum. He's a little baby. I feel like if you saw the documentary, if you saw
Indie game,
the documentary, he's he's very emotional.
He's an emotional guy.
This is not the first time that Phil Fish's mouth has got him in trouble.
Yeah, he said I guess because I think the backstory on this is they lowered the price on Steam to Fez from $10 to $9 or something, and people were complaining because I'm pretty sure that's what the situation is. And he tweeted, $9 for a game like Fez is a steal. I should be charging you $90, you fucking ingrates.
Whoa, Phil Fish.
Wow.
I see where he's coming from a little bit, but saying, I thought if it was $60, like the cost of a regular game, I could see it. But him saying it's worth more than any other game, that kind of puts him into a dick status to me.
Well, he's right in the sense that he's probably sick of gamers bitching about prices of stuff. I mean, that's something that a lot of gamers are guilty of. Mm-hmm. So you can he's probably frustrated as hell.
Of course. I mean, especially when just him and another guy, spend 4 years working on something like that. It's, for $9, it's a good deal anyway.
It's great, but there's a certain level at which you have to handle yourself when addressing the public for people that are customers.
Yeah, and I actually found that after researching this a little bit, he tweets constantly all day, and a lot of the tweets are actually a little backhanded. And he should probably, I'm pretty sure he's doing pretty well because of Fez. He should probably just get a PR person to take care of that shit.
Well, and remember, I think it was at GDC last year that he said the comment about Japanese video game makers where he's like, well, all Japanese games are crap right now anyways. And so, I mean, he has a documented history of sticking his foot, in his mouth.
That's quite a generalization.
Yeah, it really was. And he apologized, and he's just one of those people where he just seems to like tweet or talk before he stops to think. And so
one of the many who have, well, he hasn't fallen from grace, but just like what's his face from Microsoft recently.
Yeah, Adam Ortho or whatever.
Yeah, they probably, I mean, after we talked about it last time on the podcast, since then, they said he quit or stepped down. Resigned, there you go.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they gave him the opportunity to resign before they fired him, I'm assuming. But
they probably just said, look, we're going to fire you, but we're going to be nice and say that you resigned.
Well, exactly.
Or you're fired.
Yeah. Clean out your locker. We're done. So, Josh, what have you been playing, buddy? Any video games in your life?
I've been playing a lot of Injustice, Gods Among Us, the new DC fighting game. And I picked that up on Tuesday. The story mode on that is super, super fast. And it's probably maybe 5 hours long, and that's maybe being generous.
What'd you pick it up for?
I picked it up for PS3. So you should pick it up for PS3, and we can, duel it out online. But it's good. I mean, the story mode is pretty solid. It's definitely the most in-depth story mode for a fighting game. Did you guys play, or I guess Johnny more specifically, because I know you have a Vita, did you play Mortal Kombat on the Vita?
No, I played Mortal Kombat for Xbox, Mortal Kombat 9.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Mortal Kombat has that story mode, that kind of takes you chapter by chapter and cycles you through the different different characters. And so it's the same thing as that. You're playing as Aquaman, playing as Superman, playing as Batman. You're just going through the motions. And it still has that thing where it's like, they're just throwing in fights to throw them in. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Catch line. And they fight.
Yeah. Well, because how much of a story can you come up with? I mean, they want Superman to fight Batman. How are they going to make that happen without having it doesn't make any sense. Even in the Mortal Kombat games, it was always just like, Outworld, you're a bad guy, fight.
And I will say that it's like, for a fighting game, it's a pretty good story. And like I plugged it already numerous times, but the comics leading up to it were very, very cool. And it's a cool premise for a story. Also, the animations during the cutscenes are pretty bad. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but there's this part where like Superman like screams at the heavens, but his like animations are rigid, so he looks really dumb.
No.
It's not good.
But the game itself is good. I mean, I saw a little bit of gameplay, especially some of those special moves and stuff. I mean,
yeah, that's really cool.
They put a lot of effort into that. So
it's pretty creative. Playing multiplayer, there's still that, like, every Mortal Kombat game has those moves that like can't be blocked, and if you learn, like, for instance, my stepbrother like timed Scorpion's get over here move, so he could just do that over and over and over, to the point where like I would break a controller and we'd get kicked off the Sega for a week.
Yeah, you get stun locked and you're like, crappy. I hated that about online.
And so I mean, people playing as like, they're playing as Nightwing, Catwoman, Deathstroke, Aquaman, and Green Lantern. Those are like the only players.
I saw Deathstroke gameplay, and it was just people shooting at each other from across the map, from across the stage for like 10 minutes until one of them got hit with enough bullets to go down.
Yeah, and that's like, that stuff really sucks. Be creative, people. Just take some chances.
But it's there. The capability is there to make it like a competitive fighter.
Yeah, I mean, well, and there are people who have really put in the time to learning the characters, and like, basically when anyone picks like Lex Luthor or Bane, you're fucked. Like, they're going to destroy you.
Those are like the heavier dudes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, when people actually learn how to use the heavier characters, like, they'll demolish you because they've actually learned the game.
Right.
Whereas, they're not just doing the same cheap move over and over.
What other modes is there aside from just like straight up story or I know there's a King of the Hill, right?
Yeah, King of the Hill, that's kind of cool, where, the winner stays and faces the next person in line. Whoever wins stays. Right,
that was like the Mortal Kombat's quarter up mode or whatever it was.
Yep. And then there's a survivor mode where you only keep however much life you beat the other person with. And so the next person, like, your life will go down based on your previous fight, and the next person will, get to face you with half of your life. And so if they can beat you, they'll stay. If you win, you stay with whatever life's remaining.
That's cool. Is there a tag?
There's not a tag. I mean, at least not that I saw. And there was only like 3 or 4 multiplayer modes. It was pretty simple.
Sounds cool, though. I mean, how's the character list? Is there a bunch of unlockables? I think they have something like the Crypt, right, from Mortal Kombat?
I didn't see. I mean, they're gonna do DLC for 4 characters. They said the first one is, I'm gonna fuck this name up, and someone's gonna yell at me. Lobo or Lobos.
You got it.
And then they have. I mean, the character list is really cool. The people that they have chosen to put in there are really awesome. Like Green Arrow is really cool. They have Shazam in there. The female characters start to get a little of a reach because there's like Killer Frost and Raven. I'm not entirely sure why they're there. They're not even like decent storylines or anything like that. They're just kind of there to have more female characters, it feels like.
For me, I don't know. DC is like, they have a character called Cyborg. Like, it seems like they're just like the run-of-the-mill character. Like, what was it? Frost person? Frost lady?
Killer Frost, yeah.
Killer Frost?
Yeah, they definitely have a much shallower pool to pull from than Marvel.
Right. Oh, well, we got Deadpool out of what's-his-face, so I'm cool with that. Deathstroke. So
it was cool. I mean, it's a good game. You know, I'm trying to think of my recommendation here. Get it if you really like fighting games, and if you love Mortal Kombat, you'll definitely dig this.
Right. That's why I'm debating. I mean, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat, but I didn't play it for nearly as long. I mean, I talked on one of the other podcasts about, like, I just can't get into fighters. I can't get good at them. I'll play through the story mode. I probably can't play through it on hard because usually the last boss is a cheese fest because I can't do it. But whatever. Sounds cool. Seems like a lot of people are having fun with it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good time.
Anything else? Guacamelee. You and I have both been playing.
Yeah. Guacamelee's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. What I thought was great, it was like the first time I bought something on PlayStation Network that I could just play on either my PlayStation or my... I'm probably sound like a PlayStation noob right now, but you can actually play it on both your PS3 and the Vita.
Yeah.
So does the save carry over? Because I didn't try it. That's so cool.
Yeah, you just save it to the cloud, and then you can pull it right off the cloud onto your Vita.
That's awesome. So basically, Guacamelee is like a Metroidvania style game, but set in like the Dia de los Muertos, luchador type thing. And the art style is fantastic. It's like a lot of flat 2D graphics, and it's a very funny game. I think there's more nods to internet culture in that game than I've seen in any other game.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They have what? Grumpy Cat. They have Mario Brothers they have in there. I know.
Castle Crashers. There's a ton of like Reddit references that like only if you troll Reddit all the time would you know them.
Right. It would definitely. So you beat that, right?
Yeah, and I got it and I actually just I just played through it on a Saturday. Like I just started playing and just was so engrossed in it that I just kept going and going. It is one of those few games that can really walk that fine line of being super, super challenging while being just tons of fun.
Yeah, like the platforming that I got up to, you get to a point where you could swap universes, and what that does is that'll change the platforms that you're currently using. Like they'll be grayed out, like outlined, and then you'll swap universes, and the platform you're currently standing on goes away, and the one that you're going to jump to comes in. And they play with that a lot, like especially when you learn to wall jump and go back and forth, and to reach upgrades and things like that. They keep it really challenging, which I really appreciate, especially playing on the subway. It was such a pain in the ass. What I like too is that the combat is just as complex as it needs to be. Like it doesn't have to. They keep some combos in there. They you unlock a bunch of cool moves. And
what was the last? What's the most recent boss that you faced?
I don't remember.
Did you get to the flame face?
Yeah, but I don't think I fought him yet. I think I fought like he left me in a room with a bunch of barrels.
Okay, after you get. After Flame Face, the boss difficulty takes this massive leap when you face I forget who the boss after him is, but there's 3 bosses after him, and they are all super, super difficult, and you basically just need to keep playing them to learn what they're doing and get their moves down. And that's such a retro thing, where you literally had to learn what the bosses are doing in order to get good at the boss fight and beat it.
I definitely felt that way when I was especially once they introduce a bit of more of a learning curve when the enemies have shields and you have to use a specific type of move to take it. Definitely felt like a classic. It felt like Castlevania. It felt good. I don't know. And there's the comedy in the game itself is worth a playthrough. I think everybody should definitely. It was probably my favorite Metroidvania game since Shadow Complex.
And it is gorgeous. The art style is absolutely phenomenal. They like nailed what they were going for.
And it translates great from Vita to, I mean, because it doesn't require much in terms of graphical capability. So it was definitely a great playthrough. I totally recommend that game.
And like I love the cross-save feature. I played almost all of it on PS3 just because I wanted it was just something I wanted to have on my TV. I just wanted to get all those colors and everything. And then playing the difficulty is so taxing that I wanted to be like sitting on my couch, playing on my couch, you know. Right. Whereas like you're on the subway, you accidentally hit the wrong button, and you know, and I can't cuss on the subway either, at least not loudly. So.
It definitely got frustrating a few points where I'd have to change trains, and I'm at a point where like I don't want to pick my head up, so I'm like walking between subway platforms trying. It's stupid, but
it sounds like the perfect way to miss your stop.
Oh yeah, or die and do a hard
in front of a subway and get run over.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be worth it for Guacamelee, that's for sure. So, Greg, what have you been playing? You played a little Defiance, right?
A little bit. I mean, it's
you've been moving and stuff, so it's been tough.
Been busy, and Defiance finally got good recently because they fixed all the problems. And you know, unfortunately, I've been kind of, you know, doing a lot of work and moving and stuff. And I go to play Defiance, and John over here is Eagle level 1,200. My other buddies that are on are all level 1,000. I'm level like 148.
But that's the thing about Defiance. The level doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of matters.
No, just because I have a cooler looking outfit than you.
I'm gonna still play it.
You gotta still play it. It's fun, and I really hope they keep up with. I mean, their first patch came out last week on Monday. And it greatly increased the capabilities of that game.
Really, right now, my big thing I'm looking forward to is Nintendo announced they're releasing this new game. It's called Excite Bike. Woo! And it's you're this. It takes place in the future, and you're this motorcycle guy, and you have to ride these tracks. There's oil slicks. There's mountains. There's the sound is. I think this was one of the last things Skywalker Sound put together before. It's absolutely stunning.
John Williams does the intro music.
The intro music to it. It's just boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh wow, it sounds great. When's the release on that?
The 30th, I think.
Okay, good. I'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll make sure my NES is ready to go.
You got to reserve it so you get the maps. They
you get the map pack. I get the green bike.
No, they give you an actual map of the Excite Bike world. So
you go
know
from
where
left.
You
go left to right.
It's open world.
Wow, that's an old.
Yeah.
But actually, Nintendo is Excite Bike. Are they doing the 30 cents thing?
I think it's going to be 30 cents.
That 30-cent Nintendo 30th anniversary type deal.
Probably.
Before we get too far from Defiance, the show premiere was last week.
Oh yeah.
I know Greg watched it. Josh, you didn't? Did you take a gander at Defiance?
Oh, I did. I sat down and watched the whole thing, start to finish.
Well, you sound like you're. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Yeah?
Here's the thing. Hold on. Before Josh says anything.
Cover all your bases first.
No, here's the thing. Because I've been watching SyFy Channel since I was a little kid. And there's one thing that I know is that you have to take those shows at a certain... You have to understand that these sci-fi shows, most of them suck really, really bad. Like, most of them are horrible. And I think I have developed this thing where I can kind of, like, find the good in all of these shows and watch them. And I'll find, like, the good characters that I like, and I'll start to just black out on everything else that's really bad about them, which is usually a lot of these shows. Because... It's so one of those things that if you're a smart person and you're watching these shows, you know when they're just making shit up, or when they're just like when there's bad writing, or when the makeup doesn't like
bad acting.
Yeah, bad. Like you kind of just like you have to just like forget that shit. Like what was that? I was telling John I was watching before. I don't watch that many sci-fi shows anymore, but before this, I was watching Eureka on SyFy.
Yeah.
And that is one of those shows that is absolutely horrendous. It is fucking horrible. The first season of it was really good, and then it like fucking completely fell apart. But for some fucking reason, I still watched every fucking episode of that show. And I think it's because I was like attached to the characters, or a couple of them. Defiance, one thing I could say for at least for the SyFy Channel, it is without a doubt for SyFy one of the best shows they've probably put on in a while. And one thing I've been telling John that I'm worried about, though, is it seems like the pilot they used probably a lot of money for some of this CG and
for sure.
That
making army that attacked.
Yeah, just like a lot of the intro sequence, the ending sequence, all this stuff were like very like it was like watching it's like Serenity. It almost reminded me of as far as like quality, and then it made me think. There's no way every episode's going to be at this caliber. There's no way they can afford to do this for every episode. So,
especially depending upon how their viewership goes. Like if their viewership just tanks, that quality will just get rough.
But I feel like no matter what, I feel like they're going to be like, look, because they've probably already filmed most of this shit. They're probably like, we need to make sure because we hyped the game up so much and we have all these people. We have to make sure that the pilot and the first episode is going to fucking blow people out of the water so they'll watch the next one. And I guarantee that budget's going to get slashed.
I think they signed on for 2 seasons right off the bat. So
I mean, that probably has to do with...
They only have 1 season planned right now because that's the giant thing that's up in the air. Is like because they're talking to the producers of the show and they're saying like, well, we don't know if we're going to be around how much longer, so we don't know how like actual much transition we can do between the two.
Yeah, I mean. And like I said, and get back to the actual show in general about the show, I guess it's one of those things like I was saying before, like you kind of develop a filter for yourself when you watch these sci-fi shows, and you can kind of be like, well, that guy's acting is really bad.
You set your standards appropriately.
Yeah, but you know what? Considering all of this guy's okay, and this character's all right, and I don't know.
I have the perfect analogy for this, or just something that I can relate to on this level. I was dating a girl who had me watch The Vampire Diaries, and that is exactly how I made it through that. I was like, all right, I like that guy. The rest of this is white noise. I like that person.
But wait, before we compare Defiance to The Vampire Diaries, you alcoholic, what do you have to say about Defiance overall?
I agree. I agree that it's one of those sci-fi shows that the acting's bad, the writing's bad, but on that genre stuff is so hard to find on TV. You can appreciate it just for that alone. My dad was really into Stargate SG-1, and like that kind of had the same kind of feeling that to it, where it's like I would watch Stargate SG-1 and I was like, man, this is cheesy as all get out, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to live in that world.
Yeah, it's like Sliders for me back in the day when I used to watch Sliders fanatically.
Nerds.
And going back and watching it now, I'm like, wow, it was really bad, but it also feels really good to watch this stuff again. Some sort of nostalgia. And...
I think they have a lot of potential within this universe. I think it's set up pretty well. I mean, I just called you guys nerds, but I did a little outside research and I looked up the the races and the a little bit of the history, just so I would enjoy it more.
The history. Someone made that up like a month ago. The history.
It's still writing. People read the Silmarillion. They want to know the history of the elves. God, we're getting bad territory right now.
I will say my dad is somewhere rubbing his hands going, yes.
But I thought Defiance was great. I was very impressed. I thought the visuals were on par with some stuff that's in Hollywood, or even better. I mean,
stuff
on the big screen. I mean, some stuff was at the end. I don't want to spoil anything in case anyone's going to watch it, but there's a big battle at the end, and I thought the visuals were beautiful. I was shocked.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of the battle scenes, though, I mean, what takes me out of it the most is watching these people hold these prop guns like they're going to shoot them, and nobody took the time to be like, this is how you hold a gun. Like, this is how you should hold it. Like, look at one picture of a military training.
Maybe in this world, that's how you hold the gun.
Oh, no way.
Maybe that's the way.
No, but it's still the same. It takes place in the future from now. You think
that's one of those things, Sean, that you block out automatically.
The aliens came and this is how you hold it.
That in my list of things, that's like at the very, because that's right away. That's one of those things that I can't let. There's so much other shit that'll ruin this for me. The way they hold the guns, I don't even fucking pay attention.
You're right. But I think it's got a lot going for it. I think despite one of you guys said that the writing was kind of weak, I think it's okay, and I think some of the characters are actually their personalities have an opportunity to be something good. Like Nolan is pretty decent Han Solo type dude, and his little whatever what's his name, Arissa, she's cool. Whatever, got a little Lilu vibe from Fifth Element with her. But
my favorite character was the sheriff, and they killed him. Oh God, spoilers. Sorry.
Jesus fucking.
Rewind. No.
Now we got to write spoiler alert.
Okay, so
in the title.
since we're talking about that, when people die in this universe, in this brand new, nobody gives a shit at all.
Oh yeah, that was fuck it. We'll just talk about it. When they killed him, it was so funny because he seemed like such an important part of the town, and like he had that little deputy, and they all seemed like he died, and they're like, all right, what's next?
Yeah, there just should have been a janitor just pushing him off with like a broom.
With the.
They didn't even look at it. They honestly didn't even look at him twice. Like, what do we do now? We need another sheriff.
Same thing when that another character dies who's
the son.
Yeah, Josh.
It's too late. We fucked it up.
I was trying to be discreet there a little.
No, get out of here. Spoiler alert.
But
it's all over.
The dude's son dies, and it's just nobody gives a shit at all. The daughter's still concerned about her love life with this voting guy or whatever.
He only cares about finding who killed his son, not the fact that his son's dead.
Nobody cared. Yeah. And I love how they have that moment where the guy's like, man, what have you been doing? Like, you really got to get your life together. What's going on? Reminded me like a drug ad from the 90s.
Yeah, I didn't like the vampire people that much.
I forgot what they're called.
The albino vampire guys.
But listen, Defiance, give it a shot if you haven't yet, despite Josh ruining the whole fucking show for you.
Nah, I think I saved people time.
No way. It was definitely good. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, I think Defiance is definitely worth a watch. We'll see come this Monday if they stick to their big budget stuff, because that was definitely showing through in the sci-fi world of things.
There was those weird enemies also.
Which ones?
The ones that look like wolf spiders.
Yeah.
That weren't actually in the game.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if those were supposed to be hellbugs or what.
They didn't look. You made a point to say to me that they didn't look like hellbugs, and I looked at it again, and they didn't. They looked different.
They look like mammals. I don't know.
But maybe that's just the realism factor.
What was cool, since we're still talking about games, in the game in Defiance, Greg, I don't think you had a chance to play. Josh, I don't know if you did, but the episode missions lead up to the beginning of the episode, and it was kind of cool seeing what happened in the game translate to the first 10 minutes of the episode. It was really neat. Like, there's something that happens, like there's an item in the game.
You just tell everyone everything that happens.
Well, you can't replay the episode. You can't replay the episode
we'll ruin
mission.
The fucking game. We'll ruin everything.
All right, guys.
We're just gonna fucking.
I just think it's really cool.
Spoiler
Next subject. Come on. What else, man? Okay, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct this week.
Yep, I didn't watch it. I didn't do shit with games this week. I am a fucking peanut gallery.
Greg, go home.
I can't go home. All my shit's here.
Oh my god. You live down the street now.
I know.
All right.
But let's talk about Nintendo.
So Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct, which, oh man, so Iwata comes out with Mario and Luigi in costumes, which was fucking.
We have done it. Another Zelda game.
I don't understand, man. I mean, there's some news in here for Nintendo fans. There's some big games, but it's like, it's so weird to hear people be like, Earthbound has a release date. Like, yeah, it was like 20 years ago. What are you doing? So, all right, let's go to the long and short of it. Nintendo, they announced Earthbound. Just listen. They announced Earthbound, Zelda. What else? Am I missing something, Josh, here?
There's a bunch of stuff for the DS. Bravery something, right?
I don't know. I didn't listen to that. They have Pikmin. Pikmin 3 has a release date now. August 4th.
They announced a bunch of stuff for the DS, and that was kind of the thing that really struck me, was that with the Wii U, they're still saying like, hey, we have another old game that's coming to the Wii U because we have nothing else to put on the system.
Nothing. What are they doing? I mean, Greg and I have a prediction. We think that after these new consoles get like at least a year through, I think Nintendo's just gonna bow out and do
See, they need to drop out of the console war. They need to just focus on the handheld and just fucking sell their IPs to other game developers and become Sega Genesis. Sega, I should say.
See, they're never going to sell their IPs. I think they could exist as a standalone, just have completely monopolize the handheld market.
Yeah, handheld industry. They'll dominate it.
So if all Nintendo's IPs were on a handheld and that was the only way I can get them, I would own it.
Yeah, we were talking at lunch the other day about how it'd be cool if they made the handheld that you take it, you can play all the games you can play right now. Honestly, the graphics of the Wii U, the capabilities of the Wii U are going to be replicated probably beyond that by the new Nvidia handheld. So like if they can just put the power of the Wii U into a handheld and make it so you can take it out, Play it when you're on the bus, on the subway, come home, set it down, dock it, take a controller, and play on your TV.
Super Game Boy. What was that thing called that you put your Game Boy games into?
Oh, yeah, I remember that thing. It was like a
Game Boy Advance?
No,
it
it's
was
Super
for
Game Boy.
It was for Super Nintendo.
It was called Super Game Boy.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you now.
And you could like put color themes to your Game Boy
a blue
games.
tinted game or a red tinted game. Yeah, if they just made a focus on an amazing handheld that you can play, like you dock and play on TV, because they don't need a fucking console. Like the technology now to play these games that they have coming out, or it's tiny. You know, it's.
I really tried to give Wii U the benefit of the doubt when I got it, and I still play it here and there when I have friends over, when we're drinking or whatever. But man, where are the games? I didn't pick up Lego City though, so that is a game that I can't speak for, but.
Now, the rumor is that at E3, they're going to drop like the new Zelda on Wii U and the new like another Mario on Wii U and stuff like that. Which is just the, watch, rinse, repeat for Nintendo. But that could, there's major quotes going on here, could save the Wii U if everyone just jumps out to buy those games, which is, what happened with the Nintendo DS. Like
There's
when
no
they released the
fucking way
DS.
that all the people who don't have Wii U right now are going to go out and buy it at this point for fucking 2 games, especially not another Mario game and another Zelda game.
So, going back to my list here, Pikmin, and then we have Game & Wario for the Wii U coming out on the 23rd. And then we have that Luigi DLC coming out for... That's the one thing I'm looking forward to, is the Luigi DLC for, whatever, Mario U, New Super Mario U. But they have Zelda, a sequel to A Link to the Past coming out for 3DS. And they had a bunch of gameplay came out for it. And Josh, did you get a chance to see that? I know Greg and I saw it.
I didn't get to see the gameplay, but the hype is really big behind doing a sequel to A Link to the Past, which is, for a lot of people, there's probably like a 50-50 split between people who have their favorite be A Link to the Past and people whose favorite is the Zelda game I will never pronounce, Ocarina of Time.
Macarena of Time.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. Are they losing? Do games lose a little bit of something when they're remade like this? When I saw the gameplay of the sequel to A Link to the Past, it just felt, I don't know, something
gimmicky.
It felt tacky, man.
It didn't even, honestly, it looked better before. Like they said, we wanted to make it 3D, and look, it looks so like lame. It just looks bubbly and shitty.
Granted, I mean, I've played a bunch of, I've played Minish Cap, I've played Phantom Hourglass, I've played all these handheld games, but it's just never going to feel like I'm holding a Super Nintendo controller playing A Link to the Past ever again. And I don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
The shitty dynamics they put in the game, the mechanics, I mean, they're fucking... Like, you could stand next to a wall and it goes into 3D mode, and you turn into a cartoon, and you can crawl against the wall, and multi-level jumping platforms. That just looked fucking confusing and shitty to me.
I don't know. It seems boring to me. It seems like...
I just want to say, never underestimate the Nintendo fan people. Like, there are people out there who love those games and buy those games just because they have Zelda on the title, and they will justify it to themselves however they want.
Because they bought the fucking handheld, they bought the Wii, and they need to buy games for it now, and this is the only shit they're putting out.
I'm not anti-Nintendo by any means, but they certainly are disappointing. Like, I grew up with Nintendo, man. Nintendo is my thing. Like, was my thing, really, and that shaped the people we are today, Nintendo. So I don't know
how amazing would it have been if they would have just kept up with everybody else,
right?
And they were like at a point right now where they're releasing the next gen console with everybody else, and the graphics for all their games were changing like everybody else, and they were coming up with new IPs, and they were just like, instead they're just like dragging along, and they're just
But Josh is right. I mean, they're gonna have their Nintendo boys who are gonna keep up with it, and you know what? The games are still good, they're still playable, but it's just not. It's not, the magic isn't there like it used to be. I mean, when they show stuff on these Nintendo Directs and Iwata gets really excited that he's going to announce something, and we're all like, oh wow, what's it going to be? And then it's like Yoshi's Island again, or what is it? Yeah, Yoshi's Island, right? Or Mario, the new Mario, when Mario's a baby. Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Island. I was thinking Yoshi's Story. That's the other one, but I can only, there's a limiter to how excited I can get when I see it again. I just go, oh, that's Yoshi's Island. Oh, there's another yarn game. Yeah.
I think that this is kind of the last time that they're going to be able to get away with this.
Exactly.
I feel that we've all seen this playbook ran so many times that they do it one more time and it's going to be like, seriously, just another Zelda and Mario character log. Like,
listen,
I don't think they can do it again.
We call it. I'm telling you, in 2 years' time, Nintendo is going to be handheld only, and all the then that's good. I think that's a good move. What are they going to come out with? Like another back generation console like they just did with the Wii U? I mean, there are developers that are getting guilted into producing material for them. Battlefield 4, they were like, we're not going to waste our time. And then out of nowhere, they're like, oh, yeah, we are, I guess. I guarantee something happened under the table there. Like, a lot of people don't want to develop for the Wii U, and you can't blame them.
No. And as we've said, the DS is dominant right now. I mean, actually, if you look at the numbers, the DS is one of the most sold systems of this generation, of this current generation that we're in. Like, it is sold gangbusters in comparison to the Vita, or even when you compare it to mobile stuff, it is very much doing its own thing,
which is great. And that's why I think that they could probably double their sales, and if they got ducked out of the console market. I think eventually they're going to be forced out of it.
But what do you think's going to... I mean, don't you think eventually the same thing's going to happen with the handhelds for them? Because, eventually there's going to be amazing next-gen handhelds.
They own IPs. If you keep all of their IPs...
But you could say the same thing about their console. They have all the IPs. It gets old, and it gets...
The thing about the DS that I think is the big selling point to the DS is that you have this... It's something parents can get for their kids they feel good about. Like, right. I know what Mario is. I know what Zelda is. There's no guns, no first-person shooters. It only costs $150 here. I got my kid this DS. He can play that. I think they have a tap into that market that a lot of video games don't have.
No, I completely agree. I think that, to counterpoint what Gregg's saying, I think that no matter what, their games are going to exist. They're all their IPs. They're never going to get rid of any of them. They're going to stay forever because you're right, because they're familiar, because parents feel comfortable seeing Mario on stuff. They work with Sonic too for their stuff. All these things that appeal to kids and the people who grew up with them. If you localize them to one handheld, if that was the case, I would have bought a 3DS instead of a Vita. So I think what you do is, if you force people to buy this, how much does a 3DS go for now?
$169.
Yeah.
So that's a good price. So I would definitely have bought, to get all the exclusive IP for Nintendo. I would buy a 3DS for $170 or $200 or whatever it is. Because, I mean, we were saying before, Guacamelee I could play on PS3 and on my Vita. So, if I have IP that I can only get through handheld, I'm going to go the handheld route for Nintendo. So, that's where I stand with that. So, any other thoughts on Nintendo? Are we just kind of sitting around sitting on our hands waiting for them to actually release something?
Yeah, I'm not getting a Wii U. I don't own one, and I'm not buying one. I highly doubt I buy one at this point.
I actually bought the 30-cent version of Punch-Out, and I played that for 10 minutes. It was worth 30 cents. I'll say that. But all right, we'll see. We'll see in E3 what they have. I don't know. You're right though. I think they're just going to go through with the same wash, rinse, repeat. So. Maybe in our lifetimes we'll see the death of Nintendo in the console market. I'll put money on it. Any takers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Also, the big news this week was actually Shinji Mikami is working with Bethesda as a publisher to come out with a new survival horror game. Are we excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope. I hope it's I think we talked about this 2 podcasts ago. How survival horror games are just kind of not what they used to be. Mm-hmm. And he worked on the original Resident Evil game, so I think hopefully there'll be some puzzles and some it won't be on a rail. We'll be moving around a lot and exploring and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, they have that live action trailer for it, which is out on the internet now. A lot of scary stuff. It looks like it's in there. So a lot of Silent Hill-y looking, bloody.
I was hoping for a different Bethesda announcement.
Well, Fallout 4 is down the pipeline.
Yeah.
It's got to be coming. E3 is my prediction.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh god, that'll be so good to see that video. Get chills.
Yeah, I remember when New Vegas, when they showed this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome. That dude standing at the top,
Yeah.
wind blowing. That was great. But yeah, I have high hopes for it. I mean, it's just nice to hear Resident Evil 1 back in the news. This way, we know that we're hopefully going to be. When a new survival horror game comes out, everyone's always cautiously optimistic about it. So this one looks cool. I don't know. They were teasing it on Bethesda's site. They had like two teasers up, which was kind of interesting. I haven't seen anybody do that in a while. It was neat.
I think it looks scary. I think it looks like it's not gonna hold any punches back. I mean, that's the thing about Resident Evil is that it's become so generic that it can't scare you because you're like, oh look, it's another monster with an arm sticking out of his head and
There's
giant
an eyeball,
fangs.
eyeball on his
exactly.
arm. Shoot the eyeball on his arm. Yeah, I mean, even the guys at Capcom even said that they want to go the course of Western gaming with Resident Evil. They want to take it to an action route. And that's what they've done poorly with Resident Evil 6. I mean, I think 4 was there. It was already there. Game. 4 was great. It was a nice mix.
For sure.
5 was okay too. It was just like 4 in a lot of ways.
Yeah, 5 was good. But 6 was
another pipe.
Another pipe. 6 was a piece of crap. I hope we have. I mean, I know zombies are destroyed, but it'd be nice to see Resident Evil bring back zombies instead of these rabid people, whatever they're called again.
Yeah, it's like the possessed people. I don't even know what they're called.
Greg, are you on med? What are you? You're downer. You're downing today.
I'm trying a new thing with my radio voice.
It's like.
What do you think?
Love, getting all sultry.
Love 98.1 with Greg. Call in.
More calm. I'm just really thinking about what I'm gonna say before I say it.
It's fucking bringing me down, man.
Yeah.
You're bringing me down. You're bringing me down.
Yeah. Well,
and even Josh, you don't seem as rambunctious as usual. You're
Josh is drunk right now.
Yeah, I'm just hammered. I had like a half glass of Glenfiddich, and I'm just lying on my bed.
Couple Lon Lon Milks.
Video, so I'm sleeping.
Couple of Nuka-Colas over there.
Yeah.
You guys are like your shit today. What's going on?
No, we're fine.
I will say that to keep us on course and to get a little rambunctious about this Bethesda thing is that Bethesda's always been really good, even when acting as a publisher, about getting IPs that are immersive. I'm very much like Dishonored and even when they had Obsidian do New Vegas. So I feel like this is going to be in that same vein. You are going to be, in an asylum or something like that, and you will be exploring. You will be, kind of wandering around,
that'd be great.
Finding these scares.
It's nice. It's nice to have an IP coming out with some background, because a lot of the announcements that were at what the fuck is it called? What was the last con? PAX. Or even E3 when they were showing some next gen stuff. A lot of it was pretty ominous. Couple of games that were coming out were like, all right, these are new IPs, but they're going to be like Last Guardian, where we're never going to see them. Who's doing this? It's kind of nice to have Resident Evil 1 attached to something that's coming out because it already gives you some high hopes. Plus, Bethesda's name is on it. So, like you said, Josh, it's definitely, I mean, if it disappoints, as many big titles have this year.
And actually, the game that I'm really looking forward to in survival horror is Outlast, which they did a demo for at E3. And that game, there's no weapons. You don't have a weapon. You're a journalist who has a camera.
Like Fatal Frame?
What?
Is it like Fatal Frame in a sense?
Is it like Pokemon Snap?
It's Pokemon Snap meets Fatal Frame. That's actually what the tagline is.
Pokemon Snap meets Fatal Frame in... What was it called?
Outlast.
I haven't even looked into this.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, check it out. Outlast. It's going to be cool.
Outlast 3000?
Yes. XXX.
Okay. I'll check that out,
I was
Josh.
really
Thanks.
good at Pokemon Snap.
Were you?
Yeah,
did you catch them all?
Well, you don't catch... Well, you shoot them all.
Whoa.
With a camera.
Oh.
It's a photo game, okay? But there was a lot of tricks in that game that a lot of people... I mean, you throw Pokeballs at certain things, and they turn into things. I mean, it was very complicated.
Greg,
game.
I gotta get you a glass of soda. You need some caffeine, man.
I'm just talking about Pokemon Snap.
You sound like a pilot. All right, everybody. Video games.
What, you guys didn't like Pokemon Snap? You take pictures for part of your living, John. You didn't play Snap?
That's how I learned how to take
me
photos.
too. That's when I decided I like art. I like to, I would get in there and I would take these beautiful shots of a Snorlax or a Ninetales and I would bring people over and I'd say, look at this, and they'd be like, holy shit.
Wow. Can you put that on Instagram?
And I'd say, well, they didn't have that back then.
No?
Back in the day, we didn't have that. We had to take photos of the screen.
On your Nintendo 64?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you took your phone, you took a camera and you took pictures of your screen?
Oh yeah.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
We took
oh
photos.
My God, what are we even talking about anymore,
We took photos
man?
of the screen, and I had a whole gallery.
Wow.
I'm sure you did. Oh, yeah?
No.
That's good. You had a gallery. Hey, Josh.
All right.
Fallout 4. Guys, Dead Island Riptide this week. Coming out on Tuesday. How do we feel? We played Dead Island 1?
Yeah, I played Dead Island 1.
Josh, played Dead Island 1?
I did not play Dead Island.
You're in the doghouse. Take a shot. Gregg, what do you think of Dead Island 1?
I loved it. I had a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, we played co-op together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It looks really nice. It's fun to play. It's exciting. There's a lot of funny things that happen. And there's
like getting the juice boxes?
Yeah, like getting juice boxes, drinking beers and stuff. And good weapons, samurai swords, knives, pipes, bottles, guns, paddles.
Paddles was a big one. You drink energy drinks to revive your health.
Cars.
The driving. It lacked a layer of polish that I hope they really.
It felt like in my memory it was a quick thing that happened.
Right.
Like we got the game, we played
never
it,
finished it, you know that.
And
right?
I got through it.
You did? I didn't.
Yeah,
well,
I got at the end is like you go to like this prison island and there's a helicopter, and it was always a helicopter in a zombie game at the end. That's like how they all.
Well, what happens in Riptide? Spoiler alert! You never make it off the island. You crash somewhere else and you start again.
Mm.
So
they're saying that it was just you never got off.
You never got off.
Well, you got off,
island.
but you just on a different island.
Right. I think didn't you get off on a boat?
On a boat?
On a boat? Didn't you get off on a boat?
I'm pretty sure maybe it is a boat at the end. I thought there was a helicopter that we were supposed to call a helicopter. I don't really remember that.
Anyway, the vessel that they are on or in finds another part of island and they're stuck. But I saw that there's some pretty cool like defend the area missions where you have to set up for hordes of what zombies coming, and anything 4-player co-op I'm kind of a sucker for, so I'll be getting it Tuesday, and I'll be writing a review of it. It'll be on, shout out to the Hard Reset guys, hardreset.co.uk.
Woo woo.
Give them a shout. Josh writes over there too. He's a little editing.
I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fucking Xanax over there doesn't. But yeah, I'll be writing another review. Shout out to Ben and Hobbs over there. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for it. Something a little weird though is you can transfer your character over Mass Effect style, but I don't know how that works. Like you're starting a new RPG, but you're already leveled up through the skill tree. Is it the same skill trees? I don't know.
Educate me here, Johnny. Is there any like choice decision making in this Dead Island series?
No, I think it's purely just bringing your character over. It's not like Mass Effect where you're, changing galaxies and crap.
So it's just like leveling up and stuff like that.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Like if you could transfer your character over already leveled up. I mean, I could be missing details here. I'm just making shit up.
Maybe the level cap is like way high.
Yeah, but when you're leveling up, what are you picking and choosing? Like, what are the RPG elements involved?
So there's skill trees. The person, I think you can pick between 4 different characters. One.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about. You're right. One's like good with like handheld weapons. One's
knives.
like a gunner guy.
Yeah, one's knives, one's guns, one's blunt weapons, and one is like the middle range guy who's good melee and something else. But yeah, they have their respective skill trees. There's like a burst mode, like you do your special ability for a few minutes. The chick throws some knives. The guy goes into like a crazy gun mode But the skill trees, they're cool. They're kind of generic. Like you don't really get abilities per se, but you get stronger in areas.
Can you respec, or like when you start choosing stuff, you're stuck?
I'm pretty sure you're stuck.
Yeah, I don't remember respec.
It's not a huge part of the game. I feel like. I mean, it's there, but it's not something that you focus on.
But in today's day and age with RPGs, like you want that stuff. That's what keeps you. So you find weapons everywhere, and you can take those weapons and upgrade them and modify them for money that you find.
So the reason I'm like saying this is because like, you know, you're talking about carrying your character over, and you know, I'm really wondering what is the benefit there. Like you get to keep the same skill tree decisions that you made from last time, and I feel like that would actually be negative. I'd want to play as a different character this time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is the same 4 characters. I'm pretty sure it's the same 4 characters going forward with it. So I don't know why you'd want to transfer your character. I don't know. We could be completely wrong and just talking out of our asses right now, but
yeah, probably.
Yeah, like usual.
How's the story with that? Is it like well written, or is it pretty generic?
It's one of the most amazing stories I've ever played through.
It's okay, man. Gregg was hit it kind of on the head before. Like you're in it for the comedy.
Okay. It's not. I mean, it's just kind of like
it's like a B movie zombie thing, kind of.
For me, the funnest parts were always kind of like you'd aggro a bunch of zombies just from like trying to run through them, and then you'd have to fight them off with like a pipe, and then your pipe breaks and you're rushing around trying to find something else on the floor, and you find like a bottle, so you're like fighting them with the bottle now, and it's trying to, you know, it's
a lot of the missions are point A, point B, but a lot of the stuff in between gets really, really fun. One thing I liked is you can change your melee attack or whatever it is to, instead of using like the trigger buttons to swing, you could use the thumbsticks. So, like, to swing your right hand, you would swing the right thumbstick. To swing your left hand, and it actually it made the game way better for me. I thought it was really cool.
I remember one of the quests in the game was you find a bungalow, and there's like a bunch of like prissy rich kids in there, and they need you to go get champagne for them.
Champagne!
She's like, champagne!
More champagne! So there's comedy. I mean, one of the first missions, they send you back through hordes of zombies. Like, we need the juice boxes.
Yeah.
Go back, get the car, get the juice boxes. We need Capri Sun, Pacific Cooler, bring it back.
Liquid, cool. So you gotta like risk your life to get juice boxes.
Yeah. So, you know, the charm is in the comedy. The one thing I hope they improved on is it was a little clunky, the gunplay. You know, they're still at that stage where they're not really integrating first person gunplay with the RPG elements, so they had to find like a middle ground with it.
The guns were weak. I mean, I just remember never using them. I was using like a sword and like a pipe for most.
It's
like
mostly melee combat for the fun aspects of it. But
and the problem last time that this game came around is that like it hit me at a point where I was zombied out. I was like, I'm good. I don't need this right now. And that's exactly how I feel with Riptide. Is like, I've just gotten done playing all these zombie games that like, and I love zombies. I think they're awesome, but I just hit a point where I'm like, I just can't. I know, so, and there's all those stereotypical scenarios that come with the zombie where it's like, oh no, my daughter's been bitten. Do we kill her? I don't know.
Yeah, but
it'd be cool if they made a game like this, but they were, instead of zombies, it was just like regular tourists, and you have like a psychological problem where you think everybody's a zombie, so you're just going and you're just killing all the tourists at a resort.
Maybe at the end, it's whoosh.
Yeah.
It's another lighthouse, another man.
You were dead the whole time.
Another man, another. Yeah, so Dead Island Tuesday. It's a $50 title, which is cool. I like that a lot of people are putting out these $50 games at the end of the console cycle, which definitely helps the wallet a little bit. I'm just wondering if there's going to be like microtransactions in there. Maybe.
I'm sure they'll find a way to do it. There'll definitely be DLC. So
yeah, that's true. But it was a fun game. I mean, anything 4-player co-op, the fun is how you make it. You gotta make your own fun with that stuff. But
how about you guys saw the Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon live action?
Yeah,
that was so good.
The more I hear about that game, the cooler it gets.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. They just released the achievement list for it.
Yeah.
But the live action thing was great. Their props were like VHS tapes and like two-way walkie-talkies.
Like sound effects when they were like moving.
Like Power Ranger style.
Yeah, it was so good.
Man, definitely go watch that. Get pumped for Blood Dragon. You don't need Far Cry 3 to get it, so definitely pick that up.
Yeah.
What else we got, huh? Hey Josh,
I'm picking up Star Trek. Woo woo, go Star Trek.
Yeah, right. May the live long prosper.
Yeah, there you go.
Live long.
We'll see how good that game is. We'll see if it's as bad as every other licensed game that's ever came out.
Oh, we'll see, man. Defiance is good. Batman, dude.
Yeah.
You're the Batman. So you talk to me about Batman, Bruce.
So Batman, the thing was that Rocksteady had released that they are doing a Silver Age Batman, which actually is not going to be the next game that comes out. It was revealed that they're handing the Arkham series to I'm going to say this wrong now. It's Montreal and it is who's the people that Warner Brothers Montreal is going to do this Batman Arkham Origins. So it's going back to tell the original Batman story. I don't know, or the origin Batman story. I don't know how I feel about that. Deadshot is the main villain. He's an assassin type guy. The Penguin has some sort of involvement in the plot. I love those Batman games. They're really, really great. And I think that they are currently the best superhero game that is out there. Is the Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Asylum. Argue amongst yourselves which one is better than the other.
Superman 64.
Whoa. Superman 64 is so bad. It's so bad.
I think that was such a great game. Very innovative.
It was
you clearly were drinking as a child then, so.
Oh, you're one to talk.
Yeah. Heyo.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, and then they're doing a Vita Batman game. So at least you have something to play on your Vita now.
Yeah, man. With all this Batman hype, I went and picked up Arkham City, and I guess my expectations were really high on it.
Probably.
The combat's great. The writing and the dialogue is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But traversing Arkham City, I felt like it was a chore. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was cool they give you enough gadgets to traverse appropriately, but I don't know. I didn't feel excitement like I would in a different open world game. It just didn't feel smooth to me.
And that's really interesting because like that was my favorite part is like that whole idea of like when I was traversing Arkham City, I literally felt like that Batman idea of like I'm jumping off this rooftop and I'm gonna glide over here. I don't know how I'm getting to where I'm getting next, but I'll just figure it out when I get there. And that was what I liked.
I don't know. I've played a couple of the Spider-Man games.
Did you have more fun traversing those games?
Yes. Is that too big of a word for you, Greg?
Everybody's traversing right now.
You traverse. That's what you traverse to a place.
The lexicon of this podcast is massive.
Oh, thank you, Josh. We try to keep the lexicon big, but we'll dumb it down for Greg. When you go over the city, when you get on top of the building and you move. Good? Better?
No, I don't understand.
We got to find a middle ground. So when I play Spider-Man and I'm going from rooftop to rooftop, I think maybe I got a little used to doing it really quickly and swinging around, and it's fun. I don't know, man. I'm just biased, I guess. I didn't get the same magic that a lot of my friends did from Batman. It felt a little. I
wonder if that's because you're coming late to the party. I wonder if like that maybe the expectation was too high, and maybe like it just doesn't strike you with the same effect that it did a lot of people. Because I mean, basically that combat system you've already done in Sleeping Dogs,
right?
And I don't know. I love those games. And
one thing that, if you disagree with me here, we're gonna have some problems. But I think the UI, like the menu interface, was awful. Like going through the menus, trying to
traverse them.
When you traverse them, when you traverse the menus, when you go through, when you're like going through your gadgets and stuff, it just didn't. Yeah. It looked like crap, and it felt like crap, and like you can never really tell what you were unlocking. And I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's because we're a few. Like what? When did that come out?
2011. It would have been late 2011. Yeah,
so almost 2 years. I guess people took cues from it and made it better since then. But
yeah, and like that doesn't stick out to me. But then again, I played that game nearly 2 years ago, and so that stuff could have just faded to the background. And we look back with rose tinted glasses on most stuff we played in the past, but. Yeah. I will say that like with Arkham Origins, this yearly Batman game release idea is a lot for me to do. Like I'm gonna get burnt out on Batman the same way I'm burnt out on zombies.
Yeah, I agree. I mean the game's good. I mean I know I sound like a pessimist with the game right now. It's definitely fun and it's beautiful looking. And looking around at Arkham, it's beautiful the way they did the city. But I don't know. It's just not as appealing as I thought it was going to be to me. It just feels a little. I don't know.
You just have bad taste. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'd have terrible taste. I can't wait for the next Pikmin game.
Just hang out with your Wii U, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I watched Netflix on my Wii U. It turned into a handheld Netflix. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll play the next Batman game. Maybe that'll change things for me. But whatever. That's it, guys. No other games.
Anything
Nothing
else to talk about? Anybody?
Would you like to pre-order this? You got anything you want to pre-order? You got anything coming up? Anything coming up you want to pre-order?
Is that like a segment we're gonna do now?
Yeah.
That's like the audio in the beginning of it. Anything coming up on a pre-order? Games coming this week.
Coming this week.
I like that. Yeah.
The movie phone guy?
It's not just like a annoying GameStop guy.
When you're traversing all these
sure?
games...
Are you sure you want to pre-order it? Are you sure?
Are you sure? You can also sign up and get Game Informer magazine.
Your subscription is going to be over in like 9 months. Are you sure you don't want to renew it right now?
That's so fucking true. They do
I'm all
that.
right.
Is there anything else you want to, anything coming? Like, I don't know. I wish I could wear something that said, like, when I'm picking up a game from GameStop, like, dude, I know what I'm talking about.
Just put $5 down and that's it. This way you'll definitely get a copy. I have never
You can
once
get the season pass.
I've
Season
never
pass.
once
Would you like
gone
the
in
season
there
pass?
and not been able to get a game.
Listen, what's really cool about this is you buy $3, you get the insurance for the disc.
Like, what are you, fucking retarded? I'm not paying. Who buys that? Fuck you out there if you buy that goddamn disc insurance.
Well, I mean, I could see moms buying it for like 2 or 3 year olds.
That's what it is.
Games.
It's a trap for people like, oh, well, I guess I'll get the insurance.
Well, little Johnny, he messes his CD. He leaves them out, so I don't want to.
You get double XP. Get double XP when you buy the insurance for your disc.
The mom's sitting there. She's like, I don't know. I guess I don't know what XP
What's
is.
XP?
What do I do? And then she comes home with the receipt, like, save your receipt, and then you got to call and take the survey because you got to help out Steve. He helped me out with all the DS games. All right, guys. Had a fun week. Yeah, that's it. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Finishing on a high note, right? The DS games.
Yeah.
Greg, thanks so much for joining this week.
Thank you so much for always having me, and I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, my. Go take a nap, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Josh.
I'm going to stay sober this week. That's gonna be
I thought
my goal.
you didn't answer me. I thought you passed out
I
drunk.
thought he was drunk.
All right, guys. Have a good one. This is John A.
This is Greg D.
And this is...
Josh Hinky.
Holla!
All right, guys.
Would you like to take a survey?
We gotta
online?
take a survey. All right, guys. Have a good one. See you next week.
Bye. Bye.